r/AskReddit by Redmond Dtes. What has been your most stressful situation? Years of depression and anxiety drained all my drive. I finally found something I think I can do, but now getting started feels impossible. I never built the mental toolbox to actually follow through. Being cheated on for 8 years, knowing the entire time, and being too scared to do anything about it. It crippled me for years. I'm still recovering a few years later. I was running for high political office, bombarded with information and requests 24/7. I was working a full-time job as well, and driving hundreds of miles after work to go give political speeches. Had to keep up with fundraising and social media, and I was drinking an entire bottle of wine every night to manage the insanity of it all. Everyone thought they had a right to my time every second of every day. It was unreal and altogether maddening. I have always believed that no sane person can be in power. Anybody with a normal level of sanity will go mad, which is probably ultimately why the world is so screwed. A terrible life event that involved my daughter. She was sexually abused by her step-grandfather. This was quite a few years ago, but it still feels like it happened yesterday. He's dead now, rot in hell, motherfucker. And my mother-in-law is dead, rot in hell. I was kidnapped by 3 men in Sri Lanka and ended up on a raft in the middle of a river. I jumped off when they were distracted and swam the quickest I ever could to shore as they rowed after me. I ran up the riverbank to a bank that was nearby and took shelter with a security guard as he called the police. The men were never caught. My mom dying, needing a roof on my house, needing a loan for the roof, having to move my dad in with me, having no co-worker at work where all the load was on me, unsupportive spouse. That was March to April 2024. I didn't sleep for months. Trying to continue to go to Alcoholics Anonymous classes and not drink anymore. Being a single mom and now getting breast cancer. This shit is hard, man. I had a panic attack in my classroom and the kids were all laughing at me while I could hardly breathe. Leaving from an abusive relationship. The fear of what if I get caught before I'm gone while planning my escape was horrific. Waiting for my sister to get home so I could tell her that her son had died. First year as an anesthesia attending, doing a simple sedation surgery on an otherwise healthy 20-something female, when at the end of the case, as we are moving over to the stretcher, the monitor that detects oxygen in her blood was not really reading well. I assume it was motion artifact, which it is 99% of the time when you're actively moving someone, but then her blood pressure buff, which I would have normally disconnected at this point, was having issues detecting a measurement. That is not a good coincidence. Spidey sense goes off. I tell the nurses to stop touching her and let the blood pressure cuff get a reading while I fiddle with the pulse ox. She was also dark-skinned, so it was hard to see if she was cyanotic, but it didn't look good. The cuff was cycling and seemed confused. I felt for a carotid pulse and didn't feel one. I asked the resident or the nurses to see if they could feel one. They said no also. I went from 0 to 100 in seconds and told them to call a code start compressions and get everyone in here. I push epinephrine, intubator, someone else helps me get a central line and an echo while I run the code, get Rosk back within 10 minutes. Echo shows active clot in transit in her RV. We call a cardiothoracic surgeon to come in and he cracks her chest open, put her on bypass, and do a pulmonary embolectomy. She made it and was out of the hospital within a week. I think about that case a lot and what would have happened if I didn't pick up on those signs and brought her to the recovery room, which would have caused another 5 to 10 minute delay in her care. Watching my mom slowly die and suffer with cancer. When I got shot, doctors told me they had to amputate my leg. I was stressed as F. Being in high school with debilitating ADHD, to the point where I'm unable to do anything, even projects I'm passionate about. I've now started focusing on simply getting a diploma, rather than making good grades, which has helped a bit, but it's still an absolute nightmare. That's all folks. Thank you for watching. If you like videos like this one, why not like and subscribe for more? Have a nice evening.